Welcome back to Metal Spins, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, George. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Spiritbox and their two albums. We got Tsunami Sea and Eternal Blue. But before we get started on that, I just want to say thank you for the channel support and the support on the first video. So, enjoy the show. But before we get started on Spiritbox, I got to transition out of this because this is not a Spiritbox shirt. All right, we got to represent this great band. So just give me one moment. My face is all naked. Okay, well, let's continue, shall we? I'm also joined by my dog here, Onyx. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. He doesn't like to be left alone, so he's chilling in the video. So yeah, let's get started with Spiritbox and how they formed. The two key important members, Courtney LaPlante, the vocalist, and Mike Stringer, the guitarist, are both married, and they were the original minds behind Spiritbox. Now, they were in a band called I Wrestled the Bear Once, which sounds like a weird name for a band. I'm not familiar with any of that music, and I don't know if I'm going to explore that one. But they had left together and then formed Spiritbox back in 2017. And where, you may ask? Canada, the beautiful old Canada. I can let you know on a little history here on how I discovered Spiritbox. I went to Ghost Tour. I believe it was the Imperator back in 2022 out in Providence, Rhode Island. I went with my best friend, and all I remembered was, oh look, there's a chick coming out to sing. This is going to be cool. And you're going to a Ghost concert. You're not expecting like harsh vocals or anything like that. So I looked at my buddy. The minute Courtney started singing, I believe it was Circle With Me, I was like, what did we just get ourselves into, man? What is this? Oh my God, yeah, no, it was a shock to our ears. Like, we had no idea. We were going in blind with Spiritbox. And it was probably one of the best exposures to a band I've had recently, especially at a live setting. I just want to give a moment to talk about the grading system on this channel for albums, songs, how I do things here at Metal Spins. So at Metal Spins, I grade the albums by percentage basis. I'll either do an 80% out of 100%. I do like percentages. So just an equivalent would be an 8 out of 10. And for songs, I have 4 categories, or tracks rather. I have the check mark, usually I use, which is good. The song is very good. I use a star for the favorite song off of the record. I use the emoji, it's the shrug one, like it's a meh. That kind of works as like a half towards the song, because I can either listen to it and be like, it's okay, or you skip it. It can either be skipped or you can listen to it. It's not really, it's meh, that's all. And then you have the bad, which is just an X. There's some songs where I'm just like, no, that didn't click with me. A lot of albums that you'll see I grade here, I don't have many songs that I hate on. With that being said, let's dive into Eternal Blue. Eternal Blue, released September 17th, 2021. And from what I gathered online, this album came out as it was like a surprise. A lot of people were unaware that this was happening. I guess like you had to be in the know if you did, but to me, I had no idea until a year later when I saw them live. So hearing this album the first time, it blew my mind away. I was like, whoa! I wasn't really accustomed to the whole metalcore sound or anything like that, or the high productions. I've always stuck to old school heavy metal and like classical shit. So hearing a band like Spiritbox, I was like, oh, so this is the modern metal, yeah? I love it. I love it. And this album is, I think, the perfect album to get you into Spiritbox. The album there does have 12 songs. And Eternal Blue kicks off with the opener, Sunkiller, which Sunkiller is a good way to open an album, especially this one. It sets the mood, it's nice, it's slow at times, and then Courtney kicks it up a notch, and then you're sucked in. That's followed by the track Hurt You, which for a while that was one of my favorite songs. And Hurt You was pretty damn good. I know one of my good friends here That's one of his favorites. You also have the song Yellow Jacket, which I remember hearing live at that Ghost concert. That was pretty good. And I believe the album version, because live, there's no feature. There is a feature there. I believe his name's Sam Carter. He's from another band. You have the song The Summit, Secret Gardens, Silk in the Strings. Those songs in a row are all good as well. For a while, too, I really liked The Summit. The Summit, for some reason, it was just vibing with me a lot. I don't know why. But damn, I can tell you though, Spiritbox does a great job with keeping you in the atmosphere, like in the zone. Like you feel like it's atmospheric and the stuff that you're listening to. You're just like, you're sucked in. That's it. Spiritbox just sucks you in. Of course, we have Holy Roller. That's followed by, that is track number 7. And Holy Roller is a good one. And I'll be honest with you, not really being into this whole new type of metal where you just have clean vocals for a bit and then it just goes into harsh a lot and some breakdowns, I never liked it at the beginning. I thought this song sucked at first. Pretty stupid of an opinion, but the more I consumed of certain bands in that style and everything, I grew warm to it. And Holy Roller was good for me. Even the music video is pretty damn good. I recommend you check that out. And then it's followed by track 8, Eternal Blue, which is the title of the album. That's a good track. And so far, I'm not disappointed at all. We've talked about 9 songs. Well, sorry, we're going to be talking about 9 songs right now, but we've gone through 8 tracks already that are no skips. They're all good. You can't complain with that. The only one that I can't really give credit to, which is number 9, is We Live in a Strange World. It's the odd one out on this album, in a way, like the way it sounds. Got a message in Discord. Whoops. Yeah, it's a weird one. Not for me, really. I don't hate it, though. It's just there. It's a meh, you know? It's fine. It's fine. But besides that, you have Halcyon. I'm still going to get that messed up. I've debated with one of my friends about how the hell you say that word. But that track, number 10, is pretty damn good. It picks up better than what you were left with in We Live in a Strange World, I think. And then you have track 11, Circle With Me. Now, Circle With Me is my favorite. And I know it's a lot of people's favorites, and it's probably one of the most popular tracks from this album. Yeah, no, it's just, that was the first song I heard from them, and it was live. But damn, I loved it. I loved every minute of it, that first hearing. So it will always stick with me as my favorite from this record. And probably one of the favorites from Spiritbox themselves. And then we finish with the last song, Constance, which, if you look into the lyrics and everything, it is pretty sad in the context there. I do like it. I think it's a good song to end on, to end a nice record there. And yeah, this album does play with emotions a bit. It's very moody, very atmospheric, as I said. I'm keeping it nice and simple, but I recommend you really listen to this one. Now, from the grading process, I would say it's an 11.5 out of 12 out of the tracks there. Or the equivalent in percentage, I'd give it a 95% out of 100%. Just circle, We Live in a Strange World is just very, like I said, it's meh. It doesn't give me that perfect 100 score. But don't let that be such a constant thing. This album, for a debut, is insane. I mean, you're already grading up that high, 95% on 9.5 out of 10 for a debut. Where can you go wrong with that? You can't. But time would pass, some EPs would come along, they'd go on tours, and Tsunami C would come in 2025. Here we go, Tsunami C. Holy hell, it's a goddamn water reference again. Eternal Blue, Tsunami C. We're just swimming in our emotions. This came out March 7th of this year, 2025. And me and my good friends here were very excited for this. Oh, we were at first. So the context behind that, we had 2 songs that were released, Soft Spine and Perfect Soul. And those songs were pretty damn good. So we were like, all right, this is going to be great. We're going to have a grand old time with this album. We finally waited 4 years for this. But then we had Crystal Roses and No Loss, No Love released as the last two singles. And we were a little mixed. We were like, I don't know. Something's weird. Is this album going to be a half and half scenario? Well, turns out it wasn't. And let's get into those tracks, shall we? So, with Tsunami Sea, we have 11 songs. Just one less than the first one. No big deal. I think it works perfectly just having it a little shorter. So the first track, Fata Morgana, is a good intro. It's just like Sunkiller. You get right into the album. It's kicking you in the ass. That is also followed by the song Black Rainbow, which is really good. I do remember that day when it came out. I stayed up late. And I was just getting my ears. I feel like I was just getting assaulted by this stuff. I was like, ooh, banging my head and shit. Just like that, head banging. Yeah. There's a lot of bangers here. That is followed by the single Perfect Soul. It kind of, slows down a little bit. It's not as intense as those first two tracks are, but it's really damn good. And then it's followed by Keep Sweet. Now, Keep Sweet is all right. I thought it was good. It's very catchy. And then track 5 is Soft Spine. Now, Soft Spine was the first single, and for me, because the other 4 tracks that came before it were good, no skips yet. Soft Spine is my favorite off of this album. It is. It's the first one I heard from it, me and my boys heard, and damn is all I could say. Like, the first line, "You all deserve each other," is great. It's really damn great. As followed by Tsunami Sea, the title track. And that song is really damn good as well. As you can see, I'm saying really damn good a lot, because that's what this album is. It's really damn good. But the lyrics are really good on this song. And the best thing I can add more to it is it's grown on me more. Like, it could have switched up Soft Spine and become my favorite. Because after hearing it live, I was really turned on by this song. I was like, whoa, it sounded really good live, and it's connecting with me more. And that's the beauty with albums now. You get to grow along as you listen to them and change. Sometimes for the best or the worst. But that is also followed now by song 7, A Haven with Two Faces. A lot of people I've seen like this song. Me, I think it's alright. It's a meh. I'm not really into it that much. At first I was, and I was like, I can't. I'm not vibing with it. That's okay though, because then I felt the same way about No Loss, No Love, the next track, when it came out as a single. But then it just worked when I listened to the album. And then I ended up liking that one. And that's followed by the last single that was released, Crystal Roses. And Crystal Roses is like We Live in a Strange World for Eternal Blue. It's just out of place. It's different. It's not bad though. Not bad. It is, compared to the other 10 songs here, it's out there. But I felt nostalgic. It felt like a song like I was listening to, like a part of a soundtrack, like a PlayStation 2 game. If anyone gets that at all. I don't know. That's the vibe I got from it. And then we have track 10, Ride the Wave. Now, Ride the Wave. When I heard that, I was like, ooh, this is a good contender to be my favorite. But then I went to go listen back to Soft Spine, and I didn't change my mind. But hearing that as the closer of their tour, their recent tour, Ride the Wave is really damn good. I love it. And then we end with Deep End, which is a bit more upbeat than some of the other tracks have been. And Deep End is a good way to end the album, I believe. And yeah, Tsunami Sea, for a sophomore album here, I think it's not as great as Eternal Blue is, but it's not much. It's such a small margin. They're both really great. But no, this is a 10 out of 11. Do the math, the analytics here, percentage, I gave it a 90%. So a 9 out of 10. So between Eternal Blue being a 9.5, 95%, to a 90%, Tsunami Sea, it's just a slight decrease from between albums, but it's not much. They're both really damn good. And I'm glad that so far their first 2 albums are both hits. So that's been Spiritbox and their discography so far. They have their 2 albums, and they're 2 really damn good albums. I would recommend both for new listeners and for people that are just curious about it. I'd even encourage the old metalheads that say that new metal, not that new metal, but newer metal sucks now and this shit's overproduced and it's slop and it's bad. Just shut up and listen, alright? Just shut up and listen. I was glad to see them live because I've been a fan ever since. Jeez, it's hot. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just very thankful I was able to see this band with my best friend. And I'm glad I was able to share that with my other friends as well, because we all love Spiritbox. We love Courtney. Well, not like that, but we have a nickname for her. We just call her Jane Spiritbox. You know, it's like John Doe with anything. So we got Jane Spiritbox. Thank you. Your music's great. We love it. So this has been George at Metal Spins. I just want to say thank you for finishing the video. Peace out.